Conflux is it's an isometric hack and slash game. The main focus of the game is combat. We give you many different ways to smash your enemies. There's a push and pull mechanic. Character is able to push or pull enemies towards or away from her. She also has this sword which she smashes enemies with, as well as a gun on her other arm.
We did a lot of paper prototypes and we thought that it was actually quite good on paper. The flow, the combat actually feels really well. But when we put into testing into the system itself, in the game engine, it sort of lacked a bit of vision. Our vision is not really maintained over there.
What we're trying to focus on in designing levels is that, of course, trying to keep in touch with the hack and slash nature. Some of the aspects like giving sufficient space for the players to move around. Other aspects like, for example, battles. We also try to give them a nice variety of enemies, different kind of encounters, ambushes, if you will. And so trying to keep each battle, each encounter fresh and exciting, so as to keep the adrenaline running.
One of the things we were more concerned about is like map optimization. So it is the first time we are working with an isometric camera viewpoint. So by applying like no draw textures on the back faces of the blocks, we will try to attempt to reduce the rendering needed. But at the same time, we had to ensure that in things like cinematic sequences, these areas will not be exposed, and so the gameplay, the environment will still look immersive.
We are creating a top-down action game using a first-person shooter engine. That means that a lot of modification will be required in terms of camera, player controls, and graphic features.
We created a lot of console variables for the game's designers to tweak the game mechanics and also the enemy's behavior. These console variables allows the designers to have fast iteration for the game, so that it has enabled the game to have a smoother gameplay.
Okay, basically our game is a combat-based game, so combat mechanics is very important to our game. So we have to do a lot of iterations throughout the whole productions. So actually working with the designers is sort of fun and exciting, but sometimes we does have arguments over what is best and what is not right for the game. So through more on the interacting with the designers, we get to know each of us well, everyone well, so we can iterate more and find the best solutions for the combat mechanics.
One of the issues that we faced was the frame rate issue. As we added things to the game, the frame rate became very choppy. And as we were debugging, we thought it was actually the AI, but we found out it was not. It was a dynamic light. So when we removed the dynamic light, the frame rate improved dramatically. And then what we did to resolve it is we did a screen overlay to make the edges of the screen darker, and that solved the problem.
Asking from the designers, I actually proposed to have a flying enemy as our first type. So by doing so, we cut down on the work cycle animation, and fortunately they are actually compromising and understanding, so we go ahead with that. And I push on further and say, oh, so why don't we have a second enemies as on wheels as well?
For each level, we'll try to create props which is iconic and recognizable for each level. For instance, level 4, which we plan out to be an incinerator and furnace level. Try to create shredders and flamers, so that we really tell that it's an incinerator and a furnace level.
Level 5, the last level, we decided to go towards a more cool lighting, and it's slightly more blue, and the environment was like more neatly arranged, and things are like slightly different from the start, so the players get a sense of progression as they proceed on to the game, to the end of the game.
The experience of working through this and getting the game done had both its highs and lows. We'd stay back late, we'd get all the levels finished, fix bugs, and sometimes we'd also stay back to play things.
Towards the back, actually, some of our friends actually brought in consoles and we actually were playing. And to be honest, actually at the start, the artist was like hardcore. We had like weekends, every weekend we were coming in. But halfway through, in between, sometimes we would actually come in and play games instead.
Despite our working together, sometimes there could be some arguments. But through playing, actually, we actually had quite a very strong, cohesive team.
I think the playing of the games actually helped us a lot because at times we were a bit stressed, and the games really helped calm us down, bring us back to focus on what we liked and what we want to put into our own game.
So seeing how your friends play, and playing with them, you actually find out how they think and how they work as well. So yeah, work hard, play hard.